What's up guys, GD here. So Mercurial just dropped an update on their Ampbox plugin, which I did cover a while back on the channel. The Spark plugin, which used to be a separate plugin of some Marshall amplifiers, is now fully integrated into the Ampbox plugin as a module. And what better way to do it than to actually introduce it as the JCM 800 Marshall amplifier. Now, if you've heard anything about the JCM 800 amplifier, you will know that it is one of the most iconic and most popular amps from Marshall in the history of rock and roll, and especially made popular by artists like Slash, who used versions of this or probably serial numbers of this like 34 and 36 on different Guns N' Roses albums like Use Your Illusions and Appetite for Destructions. Now, this also is one of the most modded amps I feel in the history of rock and roll, and there are so many mods, there are countless number of them. This is not going to be a video to cover the history of the amp. I'm sure there are better people than me out there who know a lot more about this amp than I do. Now, full disclosure, Mercurial did send me this plugin in advance for me to test it and to create some of my tones and presets as well, which you will find in the plugin if you get the module in the Ampbox plugin. So make sure you go check it out. I think I did around 3 presets. We'll cover all of those 3 presets in this video, and I'm going to show you some of the tones that I created out of it. Let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so I've got the plugin in front of me, and this is the Spark module, which is now fully integrated into the Ampbox plugin. If you haven't used Ampbox plugin before or you're unfamiliar with the controls, go and check out my video on the Ampbox plugin and you should be able to figure out how to use the plugin. Now, this is the 2204 implementation of the JCM 800 amp in the plugin. This is not the 2203 version, which was, I believe, a 100 watt amplifier. This is a 50 watt amplifier. To me, it doesn't make a difference, but I know some people prefer the 2203 more than the 2204. But this is the 2204, just calling it out. This is a 50 watt amplifier implementation in the module or in the plugin. Control wise, you've got your basic controls of the amp from left to right. I'll go over them in a quick glance. You've got the presence knob, the bass knob, the middle knob, the treble knob, and the master volume, which was introduced as part of the JCM 800. And then you've got the preamp as well, which is going to be our main gain controller. And then you've got these buttons over here, which are not part of the JCM 800 as such in real life, but we are fortunate enough to have these as part of our plugin. We don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars to get these mods done over here. You've got the 800 mode, which is the standard mode of the JCM 800. Then you've got the number 34 and number 36. These were 2 heavily modded versions of this amplifier used by Slash on different albums with Guns N' Roses like Use Your Illusions and Appetite for Destruction. We will listen to how they sound like. Basically, they change the grain structure and add more gain to the amp as well. And then you've got the PA toy switch here, which is shifting the PA from 2204 to a modded version as well, which again adds more bass structure and adds more gain as well. And then you've got a selector to change the tubes from 12 AXL JJ to 12 AXL WC as well. In my opinion, this switch doesn't do much for me in terms of tone, but it could be a slight difference which I might not be hearing. I'll let you be the judge of that. After that, you've got the 2 input jacks. I believe these were also horizontal in some versions and these were vertical in some versions as well. It doesn't change anything for me. In this version, we have got them vertically aligned. The high sensitivity is what we're going to be maximally using for higher gain tones. This amp was known for its high gain tones. The low sensitivity is where you would plug in to kind of dial in your cleans if you want to, but I'm not going to touch that. We are here for high gain. Let's hear how the amp is sounding at the default settings, and then we're going to twist some knobs and see how it sounds like. I'm playing my trusty Les Paul. This is an Edwards Les Paul. This has got the SH1 and SH4 pickups on there from Streamer Duncan, I believe. This is a wonderful guitar. It's not a Gibson Les Paul, but it is a Les Paul, and it sounds like this on stock settings. That sounds good. As I said, this amp is forever angry, right? Even at stock settings, you can hear that it's really got that grit, it's really got that bite, and it's really got that character of pure classic rock and roll, right? This is how it sounds on the neck pickup. Middle pickup. Amazing sounding right at the start. Let's go back to the bridge pickup. Now, the way you want to dial in high gain tones with this one is you want to push the master volume up. In real life, this amp needs to be pushed quite loud in volume to be able to get those high gain tones. But as I said, we are fortunate enough to do this in front of our PC. We can push up the master volume. The way I like to dial it is push master volume close to 10 and push the preamp up as well. This is going to add more gain to around 8, let's say, and let's say push the treble up a little bit to around 7, mids up as well. The bass, you want to bring it down because when you push up the master volume, this generally tends to get a little boomy as well. So hear this out. You can hear that it's got that gain all right, but the tone has become slightly more dirtier and it's got more unclear and muddy. So you want to bring the bass down to tame that a little bit, and you want to push the presence up a little bit as well to get that, you know, smoother, cleaner and less muddier tone. That sounds pretty good, right? So those are some of the sounds that you can get out of this plugin. Obviously, there's a lot of tweaking to do and a lot of things to check out as well. So what we're going to do right now is jump into some of the presets that I created so that you can hear how the preset sounds like as well. The first preset we're going to be checking out is a crunch, sort of a rhythm preset that I created. This is using the JCM 800. The preset's called Chunky Crunchy, and this is how it sounds. As you can tell, it's probably got that really nice low-end response, which I really like from this preset. But if you want to tame that a bit, what you can do is just turn on the parametric EQ. I've got that with a good low-cut setup over here, so that should tame up some of that bass response as well. So this is how it sounds. If if you want more gain, you can obviously do that by adding an overdrive pedal as well. I think I've configured it to be a T808 Screamer with drive at 0 and level all the way up. This is just going to add some boost. So this is how it sounds. As you can see that it also tames a bit of the low end as well over there. So if you want to tame it that way, that's also an option for you to do as well. Alright, so that's how the preset sounds. It sounds pretty good in my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, how it sounds to you as well and through your gear. The next preset we're going to look at is called a Smooth Mood. This is a 34 number mod preset that I created. This is more of a lead tone sort of a preset. Really smooth lead, and it's not very high on gain, but at the same time it's got that Marshall smoothness that you want in most of your tones as well. So here, so this is how it sounds. So it's got that Marshall smoothness that you want. That sounds really good. So that's how the preset is. Let's check out the final preset. All right, this is the final preset. This is called Sweetest Child. As you can probably imagine, this is going to be for Sweet Child of Mine. This is created using the 36 number mod, and I'm going to try and play Sweet Child of Mine, and I hope I don't get a copyright claim on this video. If I do, that part of the video will be trimmed out and you're going to hear some other parts. So good luck to me. Yeah, this is how it sounds. Sounds really good. So let me walk you through the preset a bit and show you the things I've done to get that sort of a tone here. If you hear the isolated guitars of Sweet Child of Mine, you will hear that there is a bit of a nasal or a honky or a throaty tone to it. I don't know how Slash got it. Maybe it was his pickup, so maybe the guitar was modded or the amp was modded. What you can do to get that honky sort of a throaty effect is to push the high mids up before your amp in the signal chain. So I've done it over here in the graphic EQ. This is pushing the 1K and the 2K slightly up so that you get that slightly nasal and honky effect in your tone. This is a known trick which you can do in pretty much any setup. It works well over here as well. Next, we've got the overdrive, which is the T808 standard overdrive, zero drive to tame some of that low end, and the level is around 1 o'clock. So in terms of the cabinet, I've used the standard stock cabinet here. I have not used the ones from the IRs, but I've got the 2D cabinet here so that I can have freedom to move around the mics. This is how the mics are positioned. And then you've got some EQ in there as well to push the mid slightly up as well so that we get more of that nasal effect happening after the amp. And then you've got your delay and your reverb, which are pretty standard. So this is how the preset sounds with some other parts played as well. If you play on the bridge pickup, this is how it sounds. Alright, so what do you guys think? The JCM 800 never disappoints, right? I could jam on that plugin for hours and hours, and that amp specifically. It's such a diverse amp. It allows you to create such variety of tones, you know, from high gain to actually crunchy rhythm tones. I really like it. The entire texture of that amp is something which is so unique to itself, and you cannot get that kind of texture from other amps like Mesa Boogie, although Mesa Boogie is one of my favorite amps. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the tones that I shared with you guys. If you did, make sure you give this video a like and do subscribe if you haven't. It really helps me growing on the channel. I do want to take my subscribers to around 10,000 this year. That's a goal I've set for myself. If you can help me achieve that goal, that'll be really, really awesome, and I'll be really thankful. Until I see you guys in the next video, make sure you guys stay safe, keep rocking. Cheers.